Saxon Algebra 1/2, Lesson 28. It's time for a throwdown. We're going to talk about improper fractions versus mixed numbers. In my mind, you guys, this is a battle to the finish, and there is a clear victor. Improper fractions for the win every time. I love a good improper fraction. And mixed numbers, those are the stuff of 5th grade. Okay, we're over them, we're done with them. They serve a purpose, but as mathematicians, we much prefer to shape our answers into improper fractions. And I should back up and just remind you of that we can take a number and state it in either format, right? These are formats. And we can change back and forth between them. That's what we're going to practice in just a minute. But I want you to be fully aware of where I stand and where I want you to stand in this smackdown. We're all about the improper fractions, you guys. I would always prefer to see your answers in this form. So let's remember what the heck is an improper fraction. Let's jump into the examples. Here's an example. An improper fraction looks like this. The top number is bigger than the bottom number. That means, of course, that this fraction is greater than 1, right? If the top and the bottom are equal, if this was 5/5, that's equal to 1. So if this numerator is larger than the denominator, then we know that we have an improper fraction, and we could create a mixed number out of it. Now, I've already made my point perfectly clear, but how do we convert it to a mixed number if that's what we choose to do? We remember that this line always says something to us. It always says divided by. So we can remember that and use that operation as a tool for changing this improper fraction to a mixed number. 14 divided by 5. Does 5 go into 1? No. Does 5 go into 14? Yes, twice. 5 times 2 is 10. We subtract. We now need to bring down because 5 doesn't go into 4. So we better add a decimal before we start adding zeros on there. Now we can bring it down. 5 into, oh, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to turn it into a decimal number. Let's just stop right here where we had the 4. We'll write it as 2 4/5. I was getting too excited, right? So there's the mixed number. Let's try another one. And I'll try not to get carried away. B, 21/8. Okay, we say, all right, 21/8 is an improper fraction. We're going to pretend someone wants to see it as a mixed number. We know that that bar says divided by, so we can do 21 divided by 8. We will take it to a whole number. Let's see, 8 goes into 21, not 3 times, because that's 24, so only 2 times. 16, we subtract and we get 5, so this is 2 5/8. No decimals are bringing down. All right, and C, 30 divided by 4. Again, we remember the line says divided by. 30 divided by 4. 7 times 4 is 28. We subtract, we get 2. And then this is 2/4. And we reduce whenever possible. All right, I was not boxing my answers, but these are correct. Let's just go back here. 2 4/5, yeah, that's right. Okay. Beautiful. So that is taking an improper fraction and changing it into a mixed number. I mean, now you know how to do it, but no me gusta. Okay, the other thing I want to say about these, flipping back, is that, oh, they were right here. I could have done this. These become fairly easy to do in your head, because you can just run multiples of the denominator into this. 8 times 1 is 8. Let's go higher. 8 times 2 is 16. Yeah, that's going to be as far as we can go because there's only 5 left, right? 21 minus 16 is 5. So that gets us quickly to 2 5/8. This one the same. I immediately want to say 8 because 4 times 8 is 32, but that's too high, isn't it? So we need to back down and make it 7. 7 times 4 is 28. That gives us 2 left. See, so you'll get the hang of these and you can do them in your head. Mixed number to decimal. No, that's going too far. First I want to do mixed number to improper fraction. This is more like what we would be doing. We want to write 7 4/9. And we want to convert this to an improper fraction. That is much more likely to be the scenario. John will write the problem with mixed numbers in it, and we want to fix them. So here's what you do. You take the bottom, and you multiply it by the big, and then you add the top. Okay, that's my little mantra. Bottom times the big plus the top. Okay, so it would be 9 times 7 equals 63, plus 4 more equals 67. That's the numerator. And then we put it, make that a straight line, and then we put it over the old denominator. So it's 67/9. Okay? Bottom times the big plus the top. There it is. That becomes the numerator, and then we just take the old denominator. All right, John only gave us one of those. Now he wants us to do what I was trying to do back in the beginning. He wants us to take a fraction and convert it to decimals. Okay, so let's look at an example. 28.3, and once again he takes this little cheater's path of giving us an A and a B. Okay, 3 1/8. We want to convert this to decimals. Well, we know that the number in the ones place isn't going to change. It's going to stay 3. But instead of having a fraction, we're going to make it a decimal number. So now all we need to do is convert 1/8 into a decimal. Right? We don't have to worry about the whole number. That's easy. Now, 1/8, if we could convert this to a 10 or 100 or 1,000 on the bottom, then this would be a really fast and easy problem. But that doesn't work very well. So we have to remember, again, that this line says divided by, and we have to do 1 divided by 8. Okay, that's our division problem. We can see right away we're going to need a decimal and an extra 0. It goes in there once. 1 times 8 is 8. We subtract, we get 2. Okay, we can bring down another 0. 8 into 20, that goes twice. 2 times 8 is 16. We subtract. We bring down another 0. We can do that all day, right? As long as we've got our decimal in place, we're good. Oh, okay, now I'm happy. 8 into 40, 5 times exactly. And I'm done. So our answer is 0.125, but we have to add it to the 3. So 3.125 is the decimal form of 3 1/8. Easy, right? Just remember the line says divided by. Let's do another one. Oh, the other one's really fun and fine and fast. Okay, this is for B. Oh, I made my B really big. 32 1/5. Okay, we're converting that to a decimal number. Again, anything that's on the left side of the decimal point, it stays the same. You don't even have to worry about that. And we know, okay, so we take this fraction, and we remember this sign says divided by, and we do the long division to get an answer. But, I hope you saw it, 5 is super easy to convert to the tenths place, right? This would be equal to 2/10, and then we can just write that as 0.2 because this is the 1/10 place. So if we can make the denominator fit to one of these place names, then we're golden and we can just copy it in. So I turn 1/5 into 2/10, and then I can just write 0.2, and that's my final answer. And I got it right. Yay, yay, yay. This one was right. I haven't been doing smiley faces on my answers, which shames me terribly. Those are all right. Okay, and then the last one is the easiest one of all, going from a decimal to a mixed number. All you have to do is say it. So for example, 3.1. If I say 3.1, that doesn't help me. But if I say 3 1/10, there you go. Okay, something like this might take a little more thinking, but I know it's going to be 4 and let's see, tenths, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s. So 625 10,000s would be the answer for that one. This one is in the book. This problem I made up because it's a little bit harder. That one's so easy, but this one's a little harder, but not that hard. Just remember the names of the places. Sometimes I even write them down. And remember, you just add a 0 to the denominator for every step you take to the right, all right? Tenths, hundreds, thousandths, 10,000ths. There we go. And you could reduce that, but that's not our problem. Okay, practice is doing exactly what we just did, making the calculations every which way, right? Here they are. It's kind of hard to see. My shadow is here. Convert mixed numbers to improper fractions. Convert improper fractions to mixed numbers. Write that fractional number as a decimal number, and it tells you to write it to 2 decimal places. Remember, that means you have to create 3 decimal places so that you can use that last one as your rounding indicator, and then write that as a mixed number. Yay, done with lesson 28. I know this may be a little tedious. You may feel like we have gone over fractions and decimals to death, but you guys, there are so many adults that struggle to remember this, and it's such a fundamental part of mathematics and real life that I want you to, and I don't expect you to remember what you learned on a day, a year and a half ago. It needs to be gone over again and again so that it really sinks into your long-term memory. And remember, long-term memory takes 10 years of constant use to build. So it's not something you're going to remember in a hot minute. So let's embrace the learning, shall we? Let's just embrace the learning, you guys. I'm all about that. Okay, I'm going to stop talking now. Lesson 28 is done. I'll see you in your video chats. Bye.